Presenter is Zahid representing Pakistan. His presentation is about developing the Himalayas, but first, Zahid also received a very special message. Let's check it out.
Himalayas is paradise on earth, and you are representing the best place in the world. And surprisingly, you should do it the best, not surprisingly, because you are from Swat yourself. So, best of luck, Chajo.
It's your brother?
From the embassy.
Viewers of Bring It On, it's time for the Himalayas of Pakistan. Let me start with a question. What country comes to your mind when you hear the word Himalaya? Let me tell you, people think about Nepal, but actually the Himalayan mountain range starts from Bhutan, goes to Nepal, and all the way up to northern Pakistan. That's where I'm going to take you today. So welcome to Himalaya, Pakistan. Let's bring it on. I'll be talking about two Himalayan regions in Pakistan, the leading Himalayan peak, PTDC projects, and Himalayan salt. You can see in the pictures some of the ideas about Himalaya, Pakistan. Now, this video will show you how it looks. We have the lower Himalayas and the upper Himalayas. The lower Himalayas, all green. Upper Himalayas, all white. It's all the icy and rocky mountains in the upper Himalayas. And this is where I belong to. That's my hometown, right there. Yeah, so let's go. Okay, so the lower Himalaya is Kashmir and Kagan. We call it heaven on earth, low height peaks, green peaks. But the government is trying to take care of the natural setup, and the constructions are in a very, very similar construction style with the nature around it in the Kashmir, and cultures and the lifestyle in the lower Himalayas. And the upper Himalayas, Gilgit-Baltistan, that's my hometown. We have very high peaks, world-class peaks in this part of Pakistan. Now,
It's the Himalayas.
okay,
Zahid
yeah.
Hussain.
So this is
I don't believe in them.
myself. People like me, the aliens, live on that height, you know? It's like sexy people,
Wow.
tough guys, right? And that's cool guys, right? But these Korean mountains are pretty small for me, you know? I want to go back to the Himalayas because that's
But
really tall than
I'm
these
the
mountains.
son of the Himalayan mountains in Pakistan. This much snow
Nice.
is just not enough for me.
Yeah, this much snow is just not enough for me. I had to go back to the real Himalayas to get the real snow. And now, let me tell you about the leading Nanga Parbat mountain of Himalayas, 8,126 meters high, second highest peak in the world, and ninth highest in the world, second highest in Pakistan, ninth highest in the world. You can see some pictures of the big monster over there. Now, some development projects in the Himalayan region using the peaks royalty that expeditions come there and pay. We're taking care of the security, wildlife preservation, educating the locals, and mountain sports taken care by the Pakistani government. To restore security, wildlife preservation is very important. Some animals which are going away from the world, we're taking care of them, like brown bears and snow leopard, this kind of. An economic corridor project between China and Pakistan, a huge project, $46 billion project, going to make highways, railways, and pipelines between China and Pakistan. And this is going to be through the Himalayan region. And that's going to bring great boost in the Himalayan tourism. But the nature is being tried to take care of the nature very much in this project also. And the Himalayan salt, Pakistan is the biggest exporter of the Himalayan salt. Inside the Himalayan salt mine, which is the Kyora mine, the government is trying to take care of the mine interior, and it is very attractive for the tourism, for people who can come in here. They can do the clinical tourism also in here, because Himalayan salt is a very good therapy for respiratory problems. So we're taking care of the mine also. At the same time, it's a big boost for the tourism. So thank you for listening, and welcome to Himalaya, Pakistan.
That was a very intense presentation. I'm sure we have a lot of questions coming up, so judges.
Okay, since we're talking about the Himalayas and you started it off with it's part of Nepal also, and it's also part of India and so many other different countries.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to those different sites of the Himalayas, how can you differentiate or how can you, I guess, compare the two?
Well, I have never been to Nepal and Bhutan and India, but the Himalaya in Pakistan, for the climbers, it's a very, very attractive place because in Pakistan, there are lots of Himalayan mountains which are never climbed up, you know.
Wow.
So it's a big deal for the climbers. They want to get the name for this mountain, you know. Somebody just go, like myself, go and name the mountain Zahid's Mountain, like that. Right? So climbers could come there anytime in the throughout the year, winter and summer both.
Okay.
So that could be a big difference in this.
Can you please be more specific on the royalty? You said you guys have a royalty about climbing
Yeah.
the mountains, because I just want to compare it with Nepal.
Yeah.
Is it more expensive than in Nepal, or?
Well, the royalty in Pakistan, as I said again before, that the royalty in Pakistan is way cheaper. For Nanga Parbat, I think for Nanga Parbat is $9,000 US for per expedition, and one expedition has 7 people. And if there's an extra person in the expedition, you have to pay $1,500 plus $9,000. So it's really cheap. It's pretty cheap. But in Nanga Parbat, if in Nepal, for example, for Mount Everest, I think it's more than $50,000 US.
Yeah, it's more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are pretty cheap.
Now, if there aren't any more questions, let's vote. Studio audience, if you like Zahid's presentation, please get out your smartphones and get ready to vote. And now it's our judges' turn to respond. Are you guys ready to make the decision? Okay. It's your time to vote. Your vote becomes final on my count of 3.
Representing Pakistan, Zahid Hussain. And the results?
3, 2, 1. Press the buzzer. Oh!
Damn.
4 out of 4. Perfect score from our judges. Good job, Zahid. And
Thank you so much.
I am so shocked that Ilya finally voted.
Yeah.
Broke his silence.
So happy for that.
Ilya
toughie.
finally voted.
Yes, I finally voted. Well, that was a perfect presentation. I got all the information I wanted from this presentation. The presentation style itself was very convincing and very informative.
Thank
You answered all questions perfectly. I have nothing to say. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
And One Kind, you hesitated a moment.
I was just playing. Yeah, he had my vote already, and the presentation was very intellectual. You have this intellectual look.
Thank you
You're
very
very confident, and one thing I like about your presentation, you used a lot of numbers.
Thank you.
I like
Yeah.
your statistics. And to all the presenters that are still on Bring It On, I think I know one way to get Ilya's vote, and that's to use a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I love
Right?
numbers. Yeah.
Statistics.
That's
I
true.
was starting to think that thing was broken because you didn't use it.
Because he
for,
was
like,
the only
some time.
presenter today that used numbers in the presentation.
Okay,
so.
that's a
Thanks.
good tip for
Yeah.
our contestants. Now, our judges love Zahid presentation. Let's find out how our studio audience responded. Here are the studio points for Zahid. From the audience, 19
That's like almost
points,
perfect.
and from
Yeah.
Thank you
the
very much.
judges, 40 points for a total of 59 points. That's a pretty high